Hey, future directors. So first of all, I want to thank you guys for doing a little pivot on me here. Most of you may remember from last year with Aiden being in basketball, and we're right there again. His games are Mondays and Thursdays, which are my meeting nights, but it's a pretty easy switch for me to just record something. And I mean, I miss out on all the interaction, but I just like literally threw myself together so that I can finish this, grab my sweater, and run out the door. So I'm still floofing my hair. Thank you, Dross Shampoo. Anyway, it's a pretty easy pivot. I miss the interaction, but at least this way I can get the message across. And if you guys have any comments, if you have any questions, you can either reach out to me personally via text, or you can comment back on the Developing Directors page or Developing Directors group under this link, and we will make that work. I just realized I've got to convert this and then upload it to YouTube. I'm gonna be late. So I'm gonna jump right into what I want to talk to you guys about. Unfortunately, on my very short little list of things I wanted to talk about, or fortunately, maybe because of time constraints, I was going to expound a little bit on the director call today, but Jason has not uploaded the recording yet because of all the craziness around the child warmer. And I really want to go in depth with some of it. And so I think I will just do a longer decall recap like we normally have on this, or on the Developing Directors group. Going to show up probably Tuesday or Wednesday, and that'll be a little more in line with normal. So one less thing for me to cover right now. First up, I want to talk about the new cancellation. The new cancellation policy. So first and foremost, I want you to know this is not a new patch. This is not a temporary thing. They have completely changed the cancellation policy. So what we had previously, this is like pre-COVID, the policy was that you needed to have one 200 PRV month every 4 months to remain a consultant. That was it. And then when the pandemic happened, chunks of the world went into lockdown and all of that stuff. Cincy did not want to cancel anybody in that season, so we've kind of been in this holding pattern of nobody was getting canceled for the last several months. They did institute, I believe it was on October 1st. Yeah. Either October 1st or November 1st, they instituted if you hadn't had 200 PRV in the past 4 months, and you had a downline, that your downline rolled up. They've already started that, and that is part of the new policy. So the new policy that's going to go into effect on February 1st is that if you have not had one 200 PRV month in the past 12 months, then you will lose your account, your status as a Cincy consultant. That's a pretty huge departure. I mean, that's giving people an extra 8 months to have a sale or have a $200 month. But also in there, they are continuing with the getting rid of downline. So if you have a frontline, if you have frontline with frontline, make sure that they understand that if they aren't being active, then they run the risk of losing their team members. So some of you in here, that's going to be a concern for you going forward if you don't get active really soon. I do track everybody's PRV every month, and I don't know exactly when performance reporting is going to jive with the new policy. I'm assuming it's going to happen in January, because the January will cancel list will be for those 12 months. So when it says it goes into effect on February 1st, my understanding is if you haven't had a sale, or if a consultant has not had a $200 PRV month from February of 2019 through February of 2020 through January of 2021, then those people will be canceled. There are only 5 people in our whole group that are affected by this at this point. I will reach out to those people. I will also be reaching out to their sponsors to let them know what's going on. And they will have obviously December and January to take care of that. I'm really pleased with the change. I know this is probably the second or third cancel policy, roll up policy that I've been through as a consultant. I mean, I personally think 4 months is more than enough time to be active, but I do like that this gives people that aren't quite sure what they want to do, it gives them a whole lot more wiggle room. If somebody gets off to a slow start and they get frustrated, or if somebody goes through a really difficult season personally, this gives them just a whole lot of space to take a deep breath if they need to, and then get back to business, get back to doing their thing. I will forever say that a consultant should be active every month. I'm never going to not say that, just because I think that it's such a difference in being sustainable. Even if you end up with a small customer base, if you have a customer base that can support you having $200 in sales for 12 months in a row, it's consistent money for you, and it's sustainability for your business, so that even if you have 1 month that's a little bit less than another, you've got another month rolling in right behind it. And you don't ever get into that situation where you're posting on social media and, you know, begging people to place orders, whether it's, I mean, social media or personally, please, I'm about to lose my ability to be a Scentsy consultant. Please, please, please order from me. And like it's their fault, you know? So I do like that. I mean, in a year's time, if you haven't had 200, I mean, come on now, let's be real. So I do like the policy. If anybody wants to address it, converse with me about it, I'm here to have that conversation, and let me know. I'll also be looking to see who's in danger of losing frontline. I do need to go back and update my little spreadsheet for that, but we will have those conversations one-on-one coming soon. So this kind of goes back to what I've been telling you guys for a while. If you are a leader and you are not consistently active, you need to fix that now. The next thing I really wanted to talk to you guys about is planning for 2021. We are just a few weeks away from a new year. It's been an incredibly, I'm going to say challenging is going to be my word for 2020, just because it hasn't all been bad, but without a doubt, it's all been chaotic. It's all been crazy. There's been some highs and some lows. So I think challenging is probably the best adjective to describe what we've all been going through since March. For some of us, it's more challenging than others. Maybe we're frontline workers, or we're essential workers, or we have loved ones who have been sick, or we've been in and out of quarantine, or we're parents who've had children doing remote learning, or we've been faced with difficult decisions as far as, you know, do we go to the store to get groceries? Do we do pickup? Do we, you know, go to church, or we do church online? Or do we send our kids back to school, or do we keep doing the remote learning thing? It's been a challenging year, to say the least. We are very blessed and fortunate in the world of Scentsy that it's also been a record-breaking year, which presented its own level of challenges. Those challenges being delayed shipping, supplier issues, things being on back order, things being out of stock, crazy LTOs that sell out in 20-25 minutes. It's a blessing and a curse. It's growing pains to some degree. I talked about that a little bit on a live today with the group, talking about some of our past growing pains and things I've been through in my 9 years and 11 months as a consultant. It's just all part of it, but we're super, super blessed that Scentsy does what they do to help make it work out. I think they've handled the struggles very well. They've been very open, very communicative with us, letting us know not only what's going on, but why it's happening, and sharing details with us that frankly, they just don't have to. They're very transparent, and we're grateful for that. So if you haven't taken advantage of this whirlwind tornado that we're on, now is the time to jump on the boat. Now is the time to make some plans for a new year. What do you want your monthly income to be? How many people do you want to sponsor in the business? Just what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want your Scentsy business to bring you and your family in the coming year? Is it getting to know more people? Is it building a bigger customer base? Is it making more money? Is it being more consistent? And then obviously, whatever your goal is, the next question is, what am I going to do to make that happen? Am I going to start new programs? Am I going to create systems that I haven't had before? Am I going to talk to my sponsor more to get help? Am I going to be more consistent with showing up for things like team meetings and developing director meetings and watching the decall recap, that sort of thing. I'm going to talk to you guys more about it. I'm going to have more one-on-one messages going out to you guys in the next few weeks, asking those kind of questions. I encourage people to take some time off over the holidays, especially if you're a leader. If you're a leader that's been busy and been working your business, it's important to take some steps to recharge, some time to recharge. I am probably going to take some steps further away from my customers and focus a little more on you guys and focus more on the team as a whole next week. And then once the 18th hits, I'm probably going to take the rest of the month and year off. But personally, I can tell you guys, I've talked to you about it before. I've been doing a lot of personal reflection. I am in Allison's band group. That's where she does her group, her team group. I've been fortunate to participate in several small group chats with people in that group, as well as small group chats with some of her directors and above in her organization. And it's really been an opportunity, asking very, very great questions, communicating with other people in similar situations, people who have gone through similar situations. And really, I just had to ask myself some really tough questions about why I'm not where I want to be. And I confess to you guys that I've never really put it all out there when it comes to Scentsy. I sit here a lot and look at a computer screen a lot, but a lot of that time spent scrolling. And I don't know that I have ever really just straight up worked my business like a business. And maybe part of that mindset is also coming from owning a second business for the last couple of years that requires a whole different level of attention when I don't have a Scentsy corporate office backing me up, right? So part of that recognition was, hey, I'm spending way too much time on social media. How can I get away from it? I had the argument, but that's where I do my business. And well, I'll do this. I think of this I need to do, and I need to do it on Facebook. And I have found some ways to counteract that. They are things that cost money. I don't want you to spend it if you don't have it. But you can schedule things. You can make sure anything having to do with social media is done last. Obviously, that's my thorn in my side or my roadblock or my hiccup, and it may not be yours. You need to look and see what is your roadblock. What is causing you to not be where you want to be in the business? And here's a news flash. It has nothing to do with the business. It has everything to do with something that you have control over, and only you can change it. I think a really big question that came up for me this fall was when I was doing the accelerated leadership. Very first night, since and I think I told you guys this already, but Sydney had us list out our strengths and weaknesses. What are areas we feel strong in with the business, and what are areas we feel weak in the business? And then she said, those things that you feel weak in, do you have a system for those things? And it was just a huge eye-opening question to me that the areas where I have a system are areas where I excel. Those are areas that do well for me. Those are things that like coast on their own merit. I just have to make sure they get done every month. It may be a super loose system, but it is something. And there are other areas that I'm weaker in, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not prepared in those areas. And that's what I have been working on somewhat this fall. I've told you guys about my foray into Visly and Project Broadcast, and creating systems around onboarding new team members. I haven't got it done yet. I've got a bag full of recruiting packet stuff here that I intended to put together when we went somewhere, and then I didn't do it. So little things that I can do in advance that have me ready to, if somebody pulls the trigger or has a question, it's stuff I can move on super quick. Weekly winter stuff, having the stuff in-house ready to go as soon as possible. And we're going to talk about some of this too with the D-call recap. But I can tell you that even though I'm not where I want to be, we're still not getting director numbers consistently. I'm a long way from star director. I'm a long way from making the $2,000 a month that I really want to be making. But I really, really feel good about the systems that I'm putting in place, the protocols that I am putting up to keep me from getting distracted so that I can be more productive and I can get more things done in a whole lot less time. And in honoring the things that I need to do to keep myself healthy, more mentally than physically right now. But my mental health is a super big barrier for me that I have to work on. And it's just a whole lot of that, treating my business like a business, and controlling my own time. The other thing that I struggled a lot with was constant messages. If I'm getting text messages, you probably see me check my watch because there's a thread going on with a group that I'm in. But it's one of those things that, oh, okay, I don't need to address that right now, which is really, really nice. But as far as customer messages, even team messages, I love y'all, I do. But at the same time, if I'm constantly distracted by them, I can't get my MailChimp done. I can't get my follow-up done. I can't get my samples done. I can't, there's things I can't do if I'm constantly on my phone or if I'm constantly on Facebook. So for me, it was a really big thing to put things in place to keep me off of social media. And I decide when I'm checking customer messages. I decide when I'm checking team messages. I decide when I'm on social media, and just really taking control of the time that I have set aside for my business. And I think that's something, regardless of whether you have 7 hours a day or which, I don't spend 7 hours a day on Scentsy. Just let me put that out there right now. I do not spend that much time on my business every day. But whether you've got an hour a day set aside, or you've got 20 minutes, or you've got 30 minutes, or whatever you've got set aside to work your business, the more intentional you can be with that time, the closer you can get to reaching those goals. I really hope you'll reach out to me this week or next week and let me know, hey, these are my 2021 goals, and give me an opportunity to have a coaching call with you to help you discuss how to get there. And if they're feasible. I know somebody's like, I think I had a conversation with somebody once about what kind of income did they want to make, and they told me $5,000 a month. I'm like, okay, and when do you want to do that? Oh, that would be great to be doing that right now. Well, you're a long way from that, so but let's start working toward that. But that's not going to happen this year, most likely. I mean, that's going to be some hard work to get to that point. It's not impossible. It's definitely doable. But I have to cut this short because we really do have to get on the road here super quick. I apologize for it being so abbreviated in such a short thing and not being able to have the interaction back and forth. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to hope that everybody watches all of this. I'm going to do the D-call recap, and then I'm trying to think when we could do it. One night, maybe early next week, I will be on live and we can have a conversation. Maybe next Monday night, Tuesday night. I don't know. We have the Zoom calls too. So one night I will set it up, say, okay, go watch the meeting call. Make sure you watch the D-call recap, and then let's get together, and I'll be available to answer any questions. Maybe we'll just do that Wednesday night, or I'll do it late Thursday. I can probably do it late Thursday after Riley goes to bed. So I could probably do that like 8:30 Thursday night. Gives y'all a little bit more time to watch everything. But I love you guys. I thank you so much. But seriously, make sure you understand the cancel policy. Start working on your 2021 list. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What do you need to track? What do you need systems for? Because it makes all the difference in the world. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very, very soon.